two alleged victims, as well as the family of Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre, they are, in a word, furious at Maxwell's new change in circumstances, saying in a statement in part, quote, "The American public should be enraged by the preferential treatment being given to a pedophile and a criminally charged child sex offender. The Trump administration should not credit a word," Maxwell says, as the government itself sought charges against Maxwell for being a serial liar, in reference to the perjury charges. Now, administration officials have said that prisoners are routinely moved for safety reasons and that any accusations of preferential treatment are, quote, absurd. So was this some kind of deal with the devil by the Trump administration? Or was Maxwell at risk from other prisoners for talking to the feds? And what are her days behind bars and barbed wire now going to look like? A lot of questions, but we got the perfect guest for that. Someone who's uniquely qualified to answer them. Federal prison consultant, founder of White Collar Advice, Justin Paperny. Justin, it's good to see you again. So you actually, for people who don't know, you spend time at a federal prison camp yourself in another life. Tell us what these facilities are like in comparison to a regular low-security prison.
When I describe a minimum security camp, it's easy to understand why her victims would be upset. Truthfully, it looks like a corporate office park or junior college. You are allowed to roam, go to the library, the track. There's racquetball, volleyball, Pilates, yoga. When people hear these things, it upsets them. And she's still in prison, though fundamentally just so much more liberty than she had in the higher security prison with people who had been in prison a much longer period of time, much more experience with the system. And certainly there could have been some threats to her because of the cooperation, though I'll tell you, I've been in this game since 2008 when I went to prison, and I have never seen a sex offender serve time in a minimum security camp. So clearly she has leverage, and she is.
Oh, you mean a convicted sex trafficker? You've never seen one of them in that kind of environment?
That is correct, which is the reason her victims, I can understand, are so upset. And I can also tell you if there are sex offenders in a low security or medium security prison who have cooperated, but I can assure you they're not getting dropped security levels to what some people would say is a cushy minimum security camp.
What is going on? What's the play here by the DOJ? Is it a deal with the devil for information? I mean, could there have been a legitimate safety precaution because of the news coming out that she is potentially cooperating? What do you think's going on?
Certainly, she could have been at risk if everyone found out that she was cooperating. And rather than segregate her for the balance of her 20-year federal prison sentence, the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Prison deemed that it was just easier to drop her to a minimum security camp. Would they really care about a security of the institution? Epstein hung himself. They don't need her getting hurt. The conspiracy theories are all around. So they have a lot of authority, and she has leverage with what she's giving the government, and clearly her lawyers know what week it is. They know what they're doing. They're dripping, right? She is a saleswoman right now. She gives a little information, give me some. I have a little more information from you. I want this too. I have even more information. I'm going to want that next. She is drawing it out beautifully to the detriment of people who are disgusted that a convicted sex offender would be walking around the confines of a minimum security camp doing Pilates and yoga. And from a victim's perspective, I can understand why they are disgusted.
Here's the problem. I don't know exactly what the information is that you would be providing Congress, and also whether or not it's reliable and credible. As I mentioned before, she was brought up on perjury charges at one point. But the fact that this move happened, does it tell you anything at all about the quality of information she may have given already or may testify to?
Well, it's a little unique because she went to trial and said, I did nothing wrong. And you'd think if she had an opportunity to cooperate, that would have been before she was convicted and sentenced to 20 years. So clearly there's a political motive or agenda here. Every administration has them. And you could argue that she has given enough information that they have verified. I've done a handful of events with the FBI. I interviewed the FBI agent that arrested me on my YouTube channel, and he would say, we take the information, but we verify. We check and confirm. And she's not getting these liberties, like going to a minimum security camp, unless something she has given them is checking out, which is why they want more. And it's just very easy for them to say there's risk for her in a higher security prison. That's a wrap. We're going to move her lower. Have a nice day. More liberties and benefits are coming for her. That much I can tell you.
And by the way, if the Supreme Court decides to take up her case and you hear oral arguments, I can't imagine she's going to want to testify until that's actually resolved. So this may get delayed once again. Justin Paperny, great having you on. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And good seeing you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.